What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It is the 27th of May today. We have about 22 hours left in the day here, down 1.4% on the day already. Down 2% on yesterday's price action. Not the day we were looking for. We thought that it would be a little green day yesterday, but the fact that we closed here, I mean, it's exactly what we expected this weekend to be, right? Long weekend, Memorial Day weekend is going to be boring. We didn't do much. We literally closed like 1% away from where we closed on Friday. And here we are now, still literally at this exact same price. So I do think we're going to break out this week. I think that what we got going on here is a bullish phase of consolidation into demands higher price action. We're going to see that soon enough. I'm not worried about the fact that the price rejected this 50 area at all. OnyxCoin, the reality of the matter is OnyxCoin doesn't really actually respect its 50 area too much. You'll find support just below it, just above it. Resistance just below it, just above it. It's not really, the 50 doesn't seem to matter. So I'm not worried about it here. In fact, we're more likely at an area of support here than we were here anyway. So I do believe that we're going to move up here pretty soon. Let's look at the short-term time frame and then we'll move on. Low to high here, golden ratio bounce. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. Golden ratio bounce 0.5382. Typically, when you see this kind of maneuver and you return back to the golden ratio, you do one of two things. Either, and typically, you'd actually move through it. You go to the 786, 886 area, that'd be the expectation. But if we do find support down here, if we find support, we find a higher low, whatever it might be, this could be some kind of a diamond pattern but this might be a diamond bottom, actually. Oh my God. You guys, I think we have a diamond bottom. It is a diamond bottom. Anyways, regardless, if we find support down here and we move back up, if we move back above the 0.5, that would likely trigger an event that takes us above this high. How high it goes, I don't know. It could go to the 236. It could go somewhere in between. It might blast way through that. But something that is above this high would get triggered, and it would likely mark the bottom, the termination of this downward move and the commencement of the next move to the upside, right? And that, moving out of here, breaking out of here, will lead to a bigger breakout of a bigger phase, which leads to a move that we've all been waiting for quite some time. So it really could be starting very, very, very soon here. If we're looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, the 1 hour did reject the RSI at the 50. The RSI did reject the 50. You've got higher lows here while having lower lows, but that's not bullish divergence, right? Bullish divergence, I mean, it could be, but I don't think it is. I think really this is just higher lows for whatever reason, and we're going to form some lower lows. We'll probably see some kind of reaction in the oversold zone. Maybe with the price, that is our low, but I would expect that the next couple of hours to go down just looking at this here. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let's see. Let's look at a 15-minute time frame. Maybe you go up for a little bit, but then I still do believe we have business to the downside. Now, is it going to be lower than this low? I don't know. But if it is lower than this low, it's probably not going to be by much. We'll probably just shed a little bit below that level there. 4 hour time frame, looking at it here. And that would make sense. That would actually make a lot of sense, because if this is a diamond bottom, and I think it is, we've broken out to the downside. You're known for high velocity moves that pull back and throw back. So if we have a little bit lower to go, that might make sense. If not, we might just be ripping to the upside, man. Who knows? One way or another, I would expect today to close green, and I would expect tomorrow to close green too. Because of the size of this pattern, I don't think that it's going to take too long to resolve, and likely by the end of the day, we'll probably pull back up to the upside here. Diamonds are notorious for, when you break out, pulling back the other direction. So if we broke up to the upside, I'd actually be scared that we might break out to the downside. So the fact that we've broken out to the downside and we're already wicking back up like this is rather encouraging to the thought that we move up here, and we'll probably be above like 2.5 cents. Or not 2.5 cents, sorry, 2.05 cents by the end of the day, if that's correct. And if not by the end of today, sometime tomorrow for sure. And with that, we'd be breaking out, man. With that, we're breaking out of this range. We're breaking out of the big range overall, and this end of month rally is getting underway. By the end of the month, by the end of May, I would anticipate that the price is very near 5.5 cents. If we're not at 5.5 cents, we're going to be closing in on it, right? Like if it's the 31st of May and we're not at 5.5 cents, we're probably going to be well above 3.5 cents. You know what I mean? Something around these highs at the very least, if we're not up here. Chugging along, getting our way up there. One way or another, it'll happen either this week or next week. That's the expectation. Okay, between now and the end of next week, which this Sunday is on the 1st of June, so next Sunday would be the 8th of June. Between now and the 8th of June, I'm very confident we will be above 5 cents, yes. Potentially even higher than that. I mean, our technical next target, that 5.5 cent target is only derived from this bull flag measure move, but our technical next target would be 8.2 to 15.7 cents. And then once we break above 15.7 cents, our next target is this little glorious zone up here, 26 to 32 cents. That's where we're ultimately going for OnyxCoin. That's my expectation, at least. I don't know. I think things are going to be good. Let's look at this. Let's see. Let's look at the weekly time frame. We'll wrap this up here real quick. Weekly RSI looks pretty damn good. Consolidating around the 60. It's kind of weird. If this week could close above the 60, I think that'd be a good goal. So let's get this week to close green, above the 60. If things go the way that I think they'll go by the end of this week, you should have no problem doing that. We might even be in the overbought zone by the end of this week. And once we're in the overbought zone, that's when the magic happens. So should have an interesting week ahead of us here. 5 days, 22 hours left in it. We'll see how it goes. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Don't be scared if the price goes a little bit lower. I wouldn't expect, I mean, it can go below this low, but I wouldn't expect that it lasts too long or that it would go too far if we did go below this low. It's very possible that this was the higher low. We're building from here and we're going to rip, but these diamond patterns can be tricky. And this absolutely is a diamond, so a little bit of high velocity and volatility along the way. That's what they're known for. So even if we go lower, don't be scared. Inevitably, we will throw back in a very, very short amount of time. That's all I got. Bye-bye. See you on the next one. Take care.